Hello, sock knitters. I'm going to now show you how to pick up stitches on your heel flap to so that you can begin working in the round again. I've completed my heel turn on my little sample heel, and when you're done with your heel flap, you will have ended on a knit side. Okay, and then there's your working yarn. And the reason we start with row 2 is so we can end. The reason we started on the purl side was so we can end on the knit side, because now all we have to do is turn the work like this. So this is where I was, and I'm turning the work like this, and we're going to pick up these stitches. And one thing you might want to do, I'm going to give a shout out to Kelsey, who went ahead and put markers, open removable markers in the stitches that she was going to pick up. That's perfectly acceptable. That's a fine little trick. Okay, I want you to see what these stitches look like. Your fabric is rolling to the back of the work, but you're really picking up what looks like the V on the very edge. This is what you're picking up. So if you want, you can go ahead and put a stitch marker into those V's. I'm going to show you. I'm going to do 3. And what you might want to do is go from the first one closest to your needle. You're not going to go into the very first one because you have a live stitch coming out of that first hole. So this is going to be my first one, actually, this guy. So, but count, you know how many stitches you should have for your heel flap. And then if you want, you can go ahead and put some kind of marker. It can be a safety pin. It can be the kind that look like little, plastic, clips. And you could use these, and you could put them in the hole in each stitch that you're going to pick up, and then all you have to do is put the needle where those are and then remove them. But I also want to show you how you're going to do this with your needle. So you're going to use the same needle that your heel flap stitches are on, and the way you do that is you first give yourself some extra slack in between here. I have a really long needle, so I'm going to pull this, and now I'm going to pull my needle through the stitches of my heel flap. And when I did that, it gives me a lot of extra needle. So now, or extra cord, I should say, so I can reach this around, turn, and pick up stitches. Oh, this is nice and clear right now. And I'm gonna go in, and I'm going in like that. Do you see both little legs of the V on the very edge of the fabric? That's what we want. And what you do is you put your needle in from the front of your work, you wrap the yarn around the needle, and then I'm bringing this needle through the fabric, and it looks like this, like that. I'm going to do it again with the one I put the marker in. I can find the edge where the marker is in, slip it in the same stitch, and then I can actually, once it's in, I can take that guy out of the way, wrap it, and again, I'm bringing that yarn I just wrapped through the stitch. So now I have 2 stitches picked up. They look like they're coming right out of the side of the edge. I'm going to do the blue one now. I'm going in. I have to turn the fabric to get in there. I got both legs of that guy. I'm going to wrap the yarn, and I'm going to bring it through. I'll see if I could do it with the stitch on. Yep, with the stitch marker. Okay, so I'm going to take that blue guy out. You're going to work from the right side all the way to the end. This heel flap has 8 stitches to pick up. And I'm going to go in, and I'm going to just plug along and quickly do some more, because I want you to see what it looks like when everything is picked up. I'm turning it so I can see the very edge. And once I get that first one, I should be able to go in a row and get every V. And I don't want to skip anything because I don't want to have a hole. in the side. Okie dokie. All right. Whoops. Use good lighting and be patient, okay? It's a fiddly technique. And I'm going to count. I think I've got everybody. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So don't worry about how many stitches I picked up because I used this as a sample, so I have more stitches than I had done more rows. What's important is that I get every stitch up into the last stitch because the last stitch is still from being worked in the round. This stitch is connected to this one right below. And so I have all my stitches picked up now on the side of the heel flap. And then once I've done that, again, I'm going to use the same needle and I'm going to knit to the center of these stitches. These stitches are the top of the foot stitches, also known as the instep. And I'm going to go ahead and knit 8. So what I need to do is pull the needle back onto those stitches because I'm using the magic loop technique again. I'm going to knit, finding my yarn, I'm going to knit through the center. I'm going to knit to the middle, the center of these stitches. So 5, 6, 7, 8. So the reason I want to do that with you watching is there's a lot going on this needle. I have now knit to the center of my instep stitches at the top of my foot, and now I'm going to turn the work and work this way on this needle. And after I've knit to the center here, I'm going to pull the needle and give myself a lot of cable like that. So there's going to be a loop of cable coming out from the center of these instep stitches. Now that I've pulled some extra cable, I'm going to knit the remaining 8 stitches of the top of my foot. And what I want you to see is when I'm done, okay, when I'm done, I'm ready to pick up the stitches on the heel flap on the other side. So the first heel flap I picked up, and you know what I forgot in the video to tell you? We're going to put a marker right here. But even though I didn't do it, and when I say right here, it's between the heel flap and the top of the foot. We're putting a marker here, and even though I didn't do it yet, you can use an open and closing marker so that even if you forget, you could put the marker on after the fact. So now I have a marker in between the heel flap and the instep. I'm going to do it again. Miss Olive is hungry, sorry about that. Going to put another marker, and then I'm going to go ahead and pick up these heel flap stitches. And I think what I'm going to do is cut the video now. It's the same technique, and I'm going to come back after this with the last video here showing you how to begin in the round again and where you're going to decrease. I hope that was helpful. See you soon.